this is an absolutely true story, and it plays into a lot of what I do every day. So there was this guy. His name is Al. He was an inventor, and he had invented. He's actually the inventor of dynamite. He invented many other explosions or explosives, and it helped him amass a great fortune, as you might imagine. Well, one day he woke up and read the newspaper, and he read his own obituary. And the headline of the obituary was, "The Merchant of Death is Dead." And everything in that obituary was about how he had brought on death and all this because of his inventions and this great fortune that he'd amassed around it. Well, here's the issue. The issue was it wasn't him that died, obviously, because he's reading it. It was his brother, Lou. His brother had died, but the newspaper took it and ran with the story. Imagine that. News people coming up with the wrong story, lying about something. That never happens.
Never.
But
Right.
but so it was really his brother had died, and they had written the obituary for his brother, but thought it was him, and they just got confused. Well, here's what happened in Al's life. Al was shook by this, as you might imagine. He was shook by the idea that he was going to be remembered as the merchant of death. So seeing what his life had become up to that point, it gave him a wake up call, and he's decided that's not what I want to be remembered as. That's not what I want to be known for when I pass away. So he ended up completely changing his life, completely focusing on new things. Obviously, he can't uninvent dynamite, uninvent explosives, but he started thinking about how he wanted to be remembered and reorganize his life. And he ended up leaving most of his wealth in a trust that now gives awards to people to this very day known as Nobel Prizes. That is Alfred Nobel.
Mm.
That is his story. That's a true story. Today, he's remembered as a humanitarian. He's remembered not as the bringer of death. So what does that story do for you and me? Well, how, if your obituary was written today, how would it be written? What would you be remembered for? What have you truly accomplished and have done in this world? Then I want you to think about what you'd like to be remembered for. What would you want the world to say about you? What would you want the headline to be? Certainly not the merchant of death. Well, the difference between those two is completely in your control. It is, once you understand the difference between those two obituaries, it is time to orchestrate your life to get to the second one, not the first one. And you are in complete control of that.